There are many training routines that will help you build muscle, that will help you lose fat. There are many routines that will help you get a bigger chest, bigger arms, bigger legs, but there is only one killer routine that is better than all of them combined. And that is the one that you can stick to. So in this video, we're going to go into how to create that killer routine that you can stick to so that you can get the body that you want. So this is one of the biggest issues that faces people that first start going to the gym. They get this routine from this influencer or that influencer. They start trying it, and after a couple weeks, they get bored. They think the results aren't coming, so they switch to another routine, or they start combining routines. And over this course of 3 to 6 months, you basically haven't stuck to a routine for a consistent period of time. The number one thing that you must do is to first of all make consistency a priority in the first place. So when you look at a routine, your mind, as the first principle, should be thinking not, oh, that's such a good exercise for my chest, oh, that's probably the one that's going to help me lose fat. No. Don't ask any of those things. Ask this: okay, can I stay consistent with this for 1 year? Is this the routine that I can actually just stick to for 1 year? Ask that question first. And let me just give you one tip. For 90+% of you watching this that are not 17, 18 in high school just getting obsessed with gym, or you have fitness as part of your life, maybe you're a PT, maybe you're just like that athlete gym bro. If you're not in those two categories, everyone else watching this that has other hobbies and jobs in life, you should focus on training 3 to 4 times a week. This is the best way to stay consistent because it's about that 50-50, 60-40% ratio between training and rest that gives not only enough time for your muscles to recover so that you actually grow, but it gives you that mental rest so that you can focus on other things so you don't get bored, so you don't get burnt out. So make consistency a priority. Next, respect the 80-20 rule. This is a very well-known rule in economics called the Pareto principle. 80% of the results come from 20% of the things you do. What is the 20% that gives you 80% of the results? It is the compound free weight exercises. The opposite of compound exercises is isolation exercises. The opposite of free weight exercises is machine exercises. Now, what are most gyms equipped with? Machine isolation exercises like this tricep extension, like this cable crossovers. And basically what you want to do is focus on the 20% that's going to give you most of your gains, which are the compound free weights like squats, deadlifts, rows, pull-ups, incline bench press, overhead press, shoulder press, lunges. I could go on and on. There are so many good free weight compound exercises. And the reason you want to do compound exercises is that they translate better into real life scenarios, real life sports, because you're using your whole body or multiple joints at the same time. And the reason free weight exercises translate better to real life is because when you catch a ball, when you're running, when you're doing dynamic stuff, you have to balance and stabilize the weight or the force. Imagine you're wrestling with someone, they're not coming at you from that exact angle. Respect the 80-20 rule and focus on compound free weights in your routine. Next, you want to stay in the 4 to 10 rep range. This applies to a lot of people. Below 4, you're talking really about power training, strength training for these power lifters. There is a place for this if you're an advanced athlete, but for most people that want to build muscle, that want to look good, that want to increase muscle hypertrophy, you want to stay in the 4 to 10 reps. You start going up 12, 15, 18, 20 reps. Now you're just working endurance, muscle endurance. Again, if you're an athlete like a boxer, if you're a climber, if you're someone that needs the endurance in the craft that you do, of course this is smart to do. But again, for the majority of people, 4 to 10 reps in most of the exercises is a really good benchmark that will help you build strength, but also help you build hypertrophy, which just means muscle growth. Next, you want to focus on intensity over volume. This is one of the principles of minimalist training, which is the system that I teach. It's the idea that just using this endless number of sets and reps serves more to tire you out and mess up your recovery than to actually give you progress. Because we live in a more equals better society, you just think, if I can manage to squeeze in 3 more reps, I'll probably get more than the guy next to me who didn't squeeze it in. That's actually what people think. That's why they keep squeezing more, and they really want to leave the gym, but they go, oh, you know what, I came here, so let me just do that little thing. So you go do it, you do that extra couple of exercises, because you're comparing the future version of you that's done the exercise and the future version of you that didn't do the exercise, and you think if you squeeze more in, you'll gain more gains. Now, that's actually not true, because of a lot of things. One of them I already mentioned is that it impedes with rest if you keep going towards failure and exhaustion. But another reason is because your muscles don't have any incentive to actually adapt. Think about how your body evolves. You give it a certain amount of intense stress. Your body goes, oh my God, that was intense. I need to upgrade for the next time situations like this might occur so that I'm not in danger. So it builds size and muscle. So understand that psychology and opt for intensity over volume. Next, you have enough complexities in life on what to do, what to eat, what to do about your job situation and the complicated assignment. And if you have too many exercises and too many variations, then it starts to get overloading and you forget it. See if this resonates with you. A lot of people, they're super motivated, so they start reading up on all this content and all this research, and they see these exercises like Wanhee said this face pull is really good. Then this other guy said this little variation is really what hits the inner chest. You start combining it. You have training day A, training day B, and you alternate, and all of these things that you do with good intentions, and I've done it before, so I know this process. You think it's good, but what it actually does over the long run is that it makes it harder to remember, harder to track, and harder to just execute. And what happens on a rainy Tuesday in Stoke in the middle of England where you don't want to go to the gym's kind of stinky, you're just sitting there going, oh, and you go look at your notes to remember that it was 16 reps instead of 8. It just all falls apart. This is the beauty of minimalism. You want to simplify it to only the most essential ingredients and leave everything out so that it becomes semi-automatic second nature for you to train. Now I go in the gym, I don't gotta look at what exercises. I don't gotta vary everything. I vary the routine for the sake of breaking through plateaus, for the sake of boredom, every 3 to 4 months. And this is probably the right kind of cadence for you to switch up your routine. So when you design the routine, make it super simple and easy to follow. Next, a lot of people go in the gym and they'll do lateral raises to start. Maybe somebody's gonna say, oh, but Chris Bumstead, the best bodybuilder in the world, starts with lateral raises or something like this. You'll always be able to find an example like this. I don't know if Chris Bumstead actually starts with lateral raises, but you only have a certain amount of energy in you. So when you go to the gym, you wanna knock out the biggest task of that session first before you start feeling like, oh my God, I can't be bothered with this anymore. Imagine waking up and just doing the most important thing you have to do for the day. That makes you feel good because you've already achieved something. As you get more fatigued, you can kind of just tailor off and it's still fine. You still have done the most important thing. It's the same thing with the gym. You want to just tackle those overhead press, those chin-ups, those weighted dips, those flat bench press, these bent over rows. You want to start with those free weight compound exercises that are the most mentally and physically demanding at the beginning of the workout, of course, after warming up, make sure you don't get injured, and then you want to go down towards the machine exercises, the isolation exercises that use less mental and physical fatigue, but also give you less return on your time investment. Next, imagine you're an athlete that trains soccer, football, or jiu-jitsu, or boxing, and you just take a routine from a guy that has never done any of those sports. This is what a lot of these people do. They'll just take like a routine from like some buff guy on YouTube and be like, oh, does this work for my boxing training? It doesn't work for your boxing training. The point is, you want to make the gym routine supplement your other pursuits in life, your other sports, your other things. So let's say it is jiu-jitsu. You might do variations where you're doing hanging leg raises, which helps with bringing your legs up like you're playing guard, but you might modify it so that you get your knees up to your elbows. You might do Zercher squats. You might do floor presses. These are slight variations that really help the gym training supplement your other sports. With boxing, it might not be the flat bench press. You might opt to do a push press or variations of the unilateral shoulder press. If you're someone that plays soccer, you might add sprint training as part of your gym training, or you might add things like single leg Romanian deadlifts or jumping dynamic plyometric Bulgarian split squats. I mean, I could go on and on. But even if you're not a sports person, let's say you're a 50-year-old guy that's just trying to get healthy, but most of the time what you do is just like sit and work, then maybe you don't want to just do all these like same as compounds as all these 20-year-old university students. Maybe what you want is to improve your thoracic mobility and your spine through doing things like back extensions, dead hangs, Jefferson curls, and ATG split squats, some unilateral movements that have less pain on your lower back. Do you see? All this is tailoring your workout so that it complements your current lifestyle and your other pursuits. That is how you create the killer routine, the only one routine routine that matters to make sure you transform your body in the way that you want. Take all of these principles that I've said to you and apply it to create the one perfect routine for you. Now, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to do all that research, you're like, Wanhee, I trust you. You got my back. I want you to tell me. I want you to coach me based on my goals, where I can go. Then I highly recommend you check out the link below. It's a link to my community minimalist training club, where I personally coach you on live calls to design a workout that will work for you, but also to give you all the other tips on diet, on the mindset struggle, so that you can actually change your body this year. I hope this video helped. See you in the next one.